Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Ashton Jackson. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the things that the Dallas Cowboys must fix coming out of their bye. I already understand that, a lot of things have happened so far in this week, but like Jerry Jones cracking on 105.3 The Fan. Dak Prescott got engaged. Congrats to him. And then also just reeling it back in, talking about the Dallas Cowboys, what they have to fix coming out of the bye. And, we got San Francisco coming up. That's our next opponent on the 27th. Then we got Atlanta Falcons on November 3rd, and then we got the Houston Texans, then we got the Philadelphia Eagles. So we have a Commanders, we got the Giants. So we have a lot of things coming up, but the Dallas Cowboys can still salvage their season as a 3-3 football team. I understand we don't look the best as a 3-3 football team, but we still need to improve, and I'll talk about all that after the intro. So before we hop into the video, I appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content, man. So the number one thing that I have on my list is that you're going to get healthy. You're going to get your guys back. You lost Eric Kendricks a few days before the Detroit Lions game. He popped up on the injury report. He was gone for the Sunday game. We thought we were going to get DaRon Bland back. We're not getting him this week. They wanted to have safety precaution to make sure that he is fully ready and can be a full participant in the game instead of getting limited reps. So, him getting ready, him being back versus San Francisco will be very important. Us getting Michael Parsons will be very important as well. Your pass rush will automatically get a bump up, and then your run defense gets a little bit better with Michael Parsons in the game. And then also you don't have to worry about having to try and add a pass rusher because you already know that you're going to get Michael Parsons back. And once you get Michael Parsons back, the offensive scheme and the run blocking scheme dedicates so much to Micah that and the pass scheme dedicates so much to Micah that everyone else can get one-on-one matchups and get the matchups that they need to win. It's just a matter of who needs to win, how can they win, things of that nature, right? You're going to get Kalen Carson back. There might be a game where you need to start Kalen Carson over Trayvon Diggs. We need to start having that conversation in a little bit. Trayvon Diggs doesn't want to tackle. We already know that. But then what's something we paid him to do, not we, I'm sorry, but that the Cowboys paid him to do was that the Cowboys paid him to be a really great corner that can cover, and he was getting exposed last week in coverage. And I think that's going to happen when you can't get to the quarterback, and cornerbacks can't cover all day. We have to get home, but Trevon Diggs just hasn't looked good, and I still think he is recovering from that knee injury from the torn ACL. So, and that was the first game in which he was really tested. So we really need him to get back on. We need him to get back to that all-pro form that he is used to and what we're accustomed of seeing, right? And him making tackles and things of that nature, right? You're going to get Brandon Cooks back. You're going to get him around that after the Atlanta Falcons game because he was on IR for 4 games. You're going to get D-Law back pretty soon. So prayerfully get all those guys back, and it makes you guys even a better football team. I understand that week 2 and week 3 when we have those guys in back-to-back home games versus the New Orleans Saints and the Baltimore Ravens, we still didn't look good. We got blown out in both of those games, right? But hopefully that was some mid-season form with these guys getting acclimated into the system, that things get a little bit better. Number 2, Dak and CD, man, they have to be on the same page. They have to understand the flow of this team and understand that this defense is not what it needs to be right now. We got to understand that our offensive line isn't protecting the way it needs to, and other guys aren't getting open. So it's not like it's all on Dak and CD, but both of those guys got their money. We both argued, and there was a lot of people in this community that wanted both these guys to get paid, and I'm one of them. I wanted both of these guys that just had an all-pro. One had one of the best wide receivers in Dallas Cowboy history. Put up the numbers to prove it as well in the performances. Dak Prescott was a runner-up in MVP. So we wanted these guys, and we need these guys to ball out and step up in these games, and they haven't been doing that, and they just got paid. So right now that's frustrating some of the people in the front office because it's like we got paid, we paid them their money, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Dak Prescott cannot be turning the ball over as well. I'm talking about that. That's like my 6th point, but Dak needs to protect the ball, man. 3 turnovers against the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's inexcusable. And then him having 3 turnovers in the Detroit Lions game, that's not great as well. You fumbling, you throwing blatant interceptions, that's just putting this team in a bigger hole than what it already needs to be. Our defense cannot be on the field as much as we want them to be or we need them to be. So we have to be, crucial and protective of the ball because we can't be giving these potent offenses like the Lions, like the Niners, like the Falcons too many times on the field because they will expose us. Um, so yeah, Dak and CD need to get on the same page. CD needs to start getting open. He's, you know, I think this what it boils down to, in my opinion, is the coaching staff. I also feel like other than the players that need to perform, I feel like this coaching staff needs to open something up. Whatever you were calling last year, from October all the way until December, you need to figure out how to get those plays back in rhythm. I understand that also includes your offensive line getting healthier. We need to put Tyler Smith back in the guard, and Chuma gets back. I don't know when entirely he gets back. I know he got hurt in training camp. He was going to miss 7 to 8 weeks is what they were saying, but we got to figure out what we're going to do with this offensive line because this offensive line needs to block better in pass protection and in the run game. And then also, the secondary needs to play better. Other than Trayvon Diggs, both of your safeties have been playing terrible, right? And we thought that was going to be one of our focus groups going into the season, thinking that this was going to be one of the best position groups that we have on our team. And Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker haven't been playing up to par. Why isn't Wanye or Marquise Bell both playing? We don't officially know. We don't know if it's because they're not understanding the playbook or whatever the case might be. I personally think that what it's always been is that whoever gets the most money will play on the team. And I feel like that's how it is. I don't think Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, if they were making the same amount of money as Wanye Thomas or Marquise Bell, both of those guys will be playing right now. I think they both will be sitting. So if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, put your pride aside, put your money aside, and have the best players on the field. I know will never happen. I know sometimes it won't happen, but your safeties haven't been playing up to par. Terrible times in coverage. We already know Donovan Wilson isn't that great in coverage, but we have him playing a deep half anyway. They're both terrible in space when it's time for them to make a tackle. It just hasn't been looking good for any of our secondary members outside of Jordan Lewis. That's been our best secondary player in the secondary, but other than that, everybody else needs to step up, like I'm saying. And then your stars need to step up, and have better attitudes. That's CD, Micah, Dak, Diggs. I'm seeing CD go on the sideline. Sometimes he's pouting, sometimes he's talking to Dak, but not in a devious, a diva-ish way or whatever the case might be, as they want to claim CD Lamb to be. But I really do think that he needs to have a better attitude and show more effort when he's blocking. Even when he's not getting the ball, he needs to run the ball and run the route 100% as if he is getting the ball. Because if you don't do that, that's easy tell on tape. If you go off to you break the huddle and you're moping all the way to your lineup, they already know you're not getting the ball. So they're automatically going to dictate coverage to somewhere else and know where the ball is going because we already talked about before how predictable our offense is. We need to get better at that as well. I think this is just mainly a Dallas Cowboy organizational issue. The players need to play better. The coaches need to call better plays. Players need to show more effort. I think again, your stars need to step up. Again, we are a top-heavy team. We don't have any depth. We need Dak, Micah, CD, Diggs to all step up and play their part. And then my last point really is the better player needs to start and get the ball. Last week, they were asking Zeke questions about, his role and things of that nature. And, he was really just trying to find words as to what he could be as a player. He already said that, look, I'm a great leader and I can help this team in any which way possible. I want to go out there. I want to play and things of that nature, right? He said that after, not after, but a few days throughout the week preparing for the Lions. He said that, and then he goes into the Detroit Lions game, and he's your starting back, and he doesn't provide anything for you, right? Where he's averaging 2 yards a carry. The offensive line hasn't been doing their thing, but also Zeke Elliott isn't the best back. Rico Dowdle's our best back. There's no way that Zeke can be your starting running back when the week prior to that, Rico Dowdle has the game of his life. He has 20 carries for 80 yards. He has 2 catches in the air, receives a touchdown. There's no way that Rico Dowdle has a game of his career and then you're benching him for Zeke Elliott. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And I think that we need to do better as an organization and as a staff, And Mike McCarthy even came out and said that, Rico Dowdle needs to have more touches. So that also goes to show you and lets you know who has say win this football team, right? So, and I already talked about that before. When whoever is getting paid, they get the ball, they get the majority of the snaps. things of that nature, right? So just to go over and recap what the Dallas Cowboys need to do to get better. Number one, you're getting healthy. You're getting all of your guys back. You're getting, Michael Parsons back. You're getting Deron Bland back, your all-pro corner. You're getting Kalen Carson back as depth, right? You're getting Eric Kendricks back. You're going to get D-Law back eventually. You're going to get not Micah, but Brandon Cooks back eventually. That can open up the passing game. Dak CD need to be on the same page. I can't talk about that enough. These two needs to open up the offense like how they did last year, and we'll be better as a football team offensively if we can get this thing going. The secondary has to play better. That includes Trayvon Diggs. He has to start tackling. It's too much of a liability when it's time for him to go open in space and make a tackle. Teams know that, and they're just going to pick on him the entire game. Your safeties need to play better. If these two, Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, cannot step up, Wanye and Marquise need to insert themselves and give ourselves. If they give us a better chance at winning, so be it. Give them the reps and let's go. This offensive line needs to be better, both in pass protection and in the run game. Dak Prescott got hit way too many times in the Pittsburgh game. That happens because he's holding on to the ball a lot. But then also he needs to extend plays as well. There has to be some times when we're doing RPO things that he has to keep the ball once or twice and run and get a first down. I understand he doesn't want to run as much because of what happened in 2020, but he needs to run the football just a little bit more to open up this offense and make himself a threat in the RPO game. So that's why teams aren't just strictly running and playing down on your running back. Also, your stars need to step up a little bit and have a better attitude. CD, Micah, Dak, Diggs, we're relying on you guys to step up. Deron Bland, Zach Martin, Tyler Smith, Jake Ferguson. We're relying on you guys to step up, and you guys need to go out there and make plays and consistently and be the reason why we're in these football games. Another thing, 6, Dak needs to protect the football. I talk about that each and every week. Every preview game, I say that we can't turn the ball over. When you do and you give the ball to these high potent offenses, it's going to be tough winning these football games, right? And then last but not least, the better player needs to start and get the ball. Zeke cannot be your starting back when the week prior Rico Dowdle has a game of his life. That's the type of things that we talk about in the country club type of mentality that we have with this football team, is that we have role over seniority. We believe that Zeke Elliott is a really great back, and he can potentially turn back the clock to 2016, 2018, 2019. It's not going to happen. Zeke Elliott was really good while it lasted. He has a specific role, and that is goal-to-goal situations. He gets the ball. He hasn't been getting them in the past 5 weeks. I understand that he went to the media and he said, look, I need more reps. He got those. We showed it that he cannot be your starting back. Rico Dowdle has to get backs, has to start getting his snaps back. We have to give a look into Dalvin Cook can be, and we'll be a better football team once we get our guys back, once we get back to the basics, which they've already been talking about, which I don't know what they were doing between May and July of May through August, really, of training camp and OTAs and mini camp, that they can't get back to the basics. But I believe once we get our guys back, we get healthy, we string a couple of wins together, I think we can get a really better start onto this second half of this season. Once we get to the second half of the season, we will be a better football team once we get healthy, once we figure out schematically. If we have the big schematic change like we did last year over to this year, we will be a better football team, and we might be able to make the playoffs. I'm not saying we will, but we will have a better chance if, like I said, we do the 7 things like I talked about. You get healthy, you get all your guys back, we play better football. We will have better results in the second half. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.